7 cities built.
By JT.
DJ from 10, DJ fires, it's good, Dennis Johnson.
June 1st, 1979. Game 5 of the NBA World Championship Series. Seattle was seconds away from sports history.
Pass to Gus Williams, 3, 2, 1, and the SuperSonics win their first ever NBA championship. The ball sails high in the air.
For the final time, the fat lady had sung. Her lungs deflated. The Sonics had dethroned the bewildered Washington Bullets 4 games to 1.
The Seattle SuperSonics win their first ever NBA championship.
It had never happened before. It hasn't happened since. The sporting world tipped its hat and bowed to Seattle. The Post-Intelligencer reported, from the heart of the Seattle Catholic Diocese on Capitol Hill to nursing homes where octogenarians squealed in delight, to ferry boats and to champagne-showered bars across western Washington, the human wave of sporting emotion was spontaneous. Seattle was on the map. The city glowed as its citizens reveled in the team's moment of glory.
It really was kind of like a love-in. To get that many people downtown, it was estimated to be around 250,000 people. They were everywhere. But everybody just seemed to be in a great mood. Everybody was happy, everybody was excited, everybody was sort of merry. It was a huge achievement by the Sonics at that time, and it was the first championship ever brought to the city.
Cabo San Lucas, Mexico is nearly 2,000 miles from Seattle. The only roar here comes from the ocean, not the crowds. And from here, we celebrate the 15th anniversary of Seattle's only World Championship. We do so with 4 of the team's principals. JJ, John Johnson, considered the finest passing forward in the game. Another, one of its deadliest shooters, Fred Brown. In only his second year, Jack Sikma earned a ring and the respect of an entire league. Finally, faster than a speeding Washington Bullet, Gus Williams terrorized NBA backcourt. 15 years and 2,000 miles from their point in history, we celebrate. Time has treated them well.
I still look good after all these years.
For the next hour, we're going to again feel the championship glow as we enjoy the Mexico sunshine. This is gonna be fun. Tonight, we celebrate the 15th anniversary of the Sonics' 1979 World Championship. Brought to you by The Money Store, where you can refinance your home with just one phone call in about 20 minutes, even if your credit is less than perfect. And by your Northwest Ford dealer.
Oh, it's so cute.
Excuse me, could you take a picture of us with over there?
If you take off to the Italian town of Todi, but your camera just takes off,
Where'd they go?
you better have Visa Gold, because there's not a camera store there that takes American Express.
There's a great shot.
Visa Gold, it's everywhere you want to be.
For the unbeatable low price on auto parts, Shucks is the only place to go. As one of America's largest chains, Shucks sells over 1 million batteries per year, more than 700,000 starters and alternators, so we can guarantee unbeatable low prices on every part. Plus, we shop the competition so you don't have to. And if you ever find a lower price, even within 90 days, we'll beat that price by 5%. Shucks Auto Supply, we've got the unbeatable low prices you need. Guaranteed.
Denny's original Grand Slam breakfast is now just $1.99.
$1.99? Are you out of your mind?
Crazy. You get 2 eggs, 2 fluffy hot cakes, 2 bacon, and 2 sausages for just $1.99.
$1.99? Are you out of your mind?
The Grand Slam. Now Monday through Friday, America's favorite breakfast is just $1.99.
They usually don't make mistakes here at Denny's.
No mistake. At participating Denny's, the Grand Slam is just $1.99.
$1.99? Are you out of your mind?
The original Grand Slam for $1.99. How long can this last?
We know your type. You're in and out of the stock market twice before most have had their morning coffee. You squeeze more out of an hour than most of your peers get out of a year. You have such precious little time, you actually pay somebody else to stop and smell the roses for you. Oh yes, we know your type. We even have a term for people like you. The 24-month Acura Legend Luxury Lease. Available exclusively at your local Acura dealer.
Our bus ride from Los Cabos Airport lasted approximately 45 minutes.
Here we are in the superhighway.
It didn't take long for the guys to find something to do.
He has a basketball in his hand. Okay, he's spinning it because he never passed it. And he knows. High five, right?
I'm going to teach Gus what the word pass means.
Our home for the next few days is the Hotel Finisterra in Cabo San Lucas. Finisterra means Land's End, an appropriate name for one of the most beautiful spots in the world. We're away from our normal way of life, away from telephones. This sunny setting is our home as we reminisce about the Sonics' day in the sun. Seattle's run for the title began with great momentum, having come within 1 victory of winning it all in '78. The team struck fast, winning its first 7 games in the '78-79 season. Like any NBA team with an unforgiving schedule, it had its moments, suffering a 6-game losing streak, another 4 straight later on. Seattle's bread and butter was defense, holding its opponents to a league-low 46% shooting. And it was the stingiest NBA team, allowing only 104 points per game. It had to be. The Sonics' own field goal percentage ranked only 19th in the league. Defense, steals, the transition game. That's how the Sonics won games.
Dennis Johnson, John Johnson, and Gus Williams especially. Defensively, were quick. They would get a lot of steals, and they would get so many of their transition points off of steals. And then, of course, Jack Sickman, Lonnie Shelton off the defensive boards, and Dennis Autry, too, with a quick rebound and the quick outlet passes. So they did have an excellent fast break. They were a very tough team to defend against, even though they were not one of the league's high-scoring teams.
The Sonics played most of the season with only 11 players on its roster. Center Tom Lagarde blew out a knee. Former Husky Lars Hansen was the 12th man for 16 games. Counting Lagarde, however, Seattle had 7 players average in double figures.
This shows the chemistry and the feeling the guys had for each other. Nobody worried about how many points he scored. All they were interested in, get the guy with the good shot, get the ball in the hoop.
Seldom is the word chemistry not in a sentence describing the '79 Sonics. The melding of personalities. And you could start with forward John Johnson.
He was the glue for us, game in and game out, the most underrated player on our team, and that certainly was John Johnson.
Gus Williams and Dennis Johnson, better known as Gus and DJ, set the standard for NBA guards.
Gus is a very special person. He has a way of bringing people together. Anytime anybody would get a little bit tight on the ball club, Gus would immediately get them loosened up just by his chatter, just by his friendliness. He never would let that team get tightened up as a team.
Fans called him Downtown Freddie Brown for good reason. Unlike past years, however, Fred now filled the role of coming off the bench, and it proved to be a highly successful complement to the play of Gus and DJ. And yes, Fred was the team spokesman. To this day, he's still known as the politician.
Although sometimes Fred doesn't maybe have the total mastery of the exact words that he wants to use, he always has a way of getting enough words in so that you know what he means. And yes, he is a politician.
Seattle never lacked muscle. Lonnie Shelton joined the front line as compensation for Marvin Webster, who had signed with New York. Seattle was blessed with two unique role players, Paul Silas and Dennis Autry. Paul had been there, championships with the Celtics, years in the league. If you needed someone to take a young player aside or pound someone inside, Paul was the man.
Well, if there was ever a man that you'd want to come off of the bench, Paul Silas, obviously a great starter during his many, many years in the NBA. If there's one guy that you might say was responsible for the Sonics winning the championship, it was probably Paul Silas.
Autry made a living out of making life horrible for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, especially in the '79 playoffs.
Kareem hated it. He hated to see him come onto the court. And every time he came on the court, Dennis was a valuable man against Kareem, I'll tell you that.
Adding depth to this team was quick-scoring forward Wally Walker, who had won a title with Portland 2 years earlier. Some knew him better as Legs. Adding further experience, Dick Snyder returned to Seattle for a second tour. And finally, Joe Hassett, the sharpshooting designated team prankster. He was also Gus Williams' biggest rival in backgammon. Seattle finished the regular season at 52-30, the first time the Sonics had ever won the Pacific Division. Their road record was 21-20, second only to their eventual opponent in the finals, the Washington Bullets.
The real key thing about that ball club, as they were steady during the season, 52 wins that year, they won 14 of their last 18 ball games. They took themselves with a tremendous, tremendous impetus into the playoff series, and again, I think that's why they won the championship.
And that brings us to our four friends in Cabo San Lucas. Gus, JJ, Fred, and Jack. We'll talk about the playoff opening Lakers series when we return.
Here comes Willie the Whale.
Jerry West from Anton. Forget it. Besides, the Lakers are a bunch of losers. They won last night. They beat the Royals? You bet they did, Billy. And my, was it a spanking. And
boy, Carlos really gets into it.
It's all tied. Crowd's going crazy.
Duck and cover, the place is about to explode. Huge game, and it happens tonight in New York.
Oh, boy, Carlos still gets into it.
Honey, a little trouble breathing.
Come to the Dome and hear 'em. See 'em. And feel them. Call 827-9766 for ticket information. And come experience it live.
Make it happen. 1, 2, 3, ho!
Only in the Dome.
Back on track, baby! Back on track!
Hard to tell. Could be any pickup. But how many compact pickups hold this much? Have a bed with two-tier loading and a tailgate this easy to deal with. You could say it's the most intelligent pickup of its kind, except there doesn't appear to be another pickup of its kind. The Chevy S-Series, so new from the inside out. Everything else is history.
We're aiming a little bit higher, higher than all the rest. We're aiming higher at Target, 'cause we want you to be our guest.
The shopping cart traffic is choreographic.
We're flying, we're ready to soar. We're aiming a little bit higher, 'cause we want you to be our guest.
Oh, what service. The one that got away was that big?
Seattle began its playoff drive against the Lakers. The team split their 4 regular season games, with each team winning once on the other's home court. Seattle, however, smashed the Lakers by 20 at the Forum in their final regular meeting. Gus Williams, who missed the first 2 meetings against the Lakers, sent a clear message to Laker coach Jerry West, hitting 31 points and 10 assists. Most felt Gus would eat L.A. guard Norm Nixon for lunch.
When you look at the Sonics play, you would think about our fast-breaking type of game, trapping defense, putting some points on the board, but all that would go to waste if we didn't play good defense.
That meant defending the Lakers' sole advantage, 7-2 Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was coming off an impressive mini-series against Denver and was playing with renewed enthusiasm.
Whenever I played Jabbar, it was a case of, just trying to wear him down. He's going to get us points. I saw many of those hook shots go in over the top of me over the number of years. And we had a front court that was awfully good and had a lot of success against the Lakers. Gus always rose to the occasion and loved playing against Norm Nixon. And DJ was, of course, good. And then if we had to, we went to Fred on the bench. So
Fred suffered a broken bone in his left hand on April 1st. For the playoffs, however, the doctors gave him the go-ahead, even though it still hurt.
You got to play with pain, you got to be able to play with pain.
The only reason he came back that fast was there was a lot of money on the line. And that tended to get Fred's attention.
It was money time. Game 1 in the Kingdome, where Seattle played all of its home games in '79. The Sonics' big win over L.A. 11 days earlier served as a tranquilizer. Seattle found itself down by 17 5 minutes before half.
They came out really aggressive, and they shot the ball extremely well. And our intensity was just very low. Then we turned it up and started getting more aggressive on the defensive end.
It was Gus, DJ, and JJ who revived the Sonics. Down 17, they engineered a 21-9 run, cutting the lead to 5 at half. Jack joined Gus and DJ in the third quarter for a 20-6 run, and the Sonics survived the first game 112-101. Gus was high scorer with 27, DJ had 26, and Jack with 18. Jabbar screamed foul, or a lack thereof. Seattle ganged up on the big guy. Autry was at it again.
Well, Kareem, point about him, he had that phenomenal hook shot, and he didn't like to be touched. He wanted to score at you, on you at will, but you put a body on him and turned him baseline and make him work a little bit. Then, Jack laid his body on him for a quarter, and then Autry came in, who he despised. There was no love lost there. And Harpo knew, it was time for him to shine when we played the Lakers.
Game 2 was the first of 2 settled in overtime. Seattle led by 8 with 2 minutes left, when the Lakers hit 10 straight, taking the lead by 2 on this Norm Nixon jumper with 10 seconds left. Then came the heroics of Jack and DJ.
It's one of those plays that I remember vividly yet. I got the ball at the right-hand side of the key, turned around, take a jumper, and Kareem just committed to himself, or committed to the shot, came flying at me, and got it probably with his elbow, I don't know, but he got it and knocked out the half court. And, was this a case where you react? And I ran it down, and as I turned, DJ timed his cut at the baseline. And Ron Boone was guarding him. He popped out just in time, whipped it to him. He turned around and hit that jumper and got us back in it.
Gus had a career night with 38 points as Seattle won in overtime, 108-103. Of course, with all the points came heat from his teammates.
These guys make fun of me shooting, but...
Very true.
No, but in the design of the Sonics play, myself or DJ would get a lot of open shots because, we would dominate the glass.
And you just shoot it.
Or we would create turnovers on the defense. Hey, we're the first guys closest to the basket, so of course we're going to push it, create a little pressure on the offense, and we have more opportunities to score. No one's really complaining about it. These guys, show me your rings, fellas. Show me your rings.
And remember, there was no three-point shot in 1979. Imagine DJ, Gus, and Fred from outside the circle.
That really would have opened the court up for us, Fred, because they would have had to guard you out further.
You shot further out than I did. You used to come down and just sling it up.
I used to go to the basket. At first, you guys say I take layups. That's all I can do.
No. We said that you would always sneak out and we'd throw the ball to you for layups.
What would I do? Yeah, go for layups.
But we fight for rebounds and you go for layups on the other court.
You speaking French now? We fight for rebounds?
Well, I had to help Jack and Jay. They sometimes, they get a little light in there. They wouldn't want to go fight for it.
Game number 3, the first of 2 in L.A., went to the Lakers in overtime, 118-112. The physical play of the Sonics backfired, with several players getting in foul trouble. The Laker complaints were being heard.
Well, one of the things that you got to remember, the Lakers were a finesse ball club all the way, totally. So anybody that got up in their face, they felt that they were being physical because they were becoming an intimidation to them. And we played, the style of play that we played, we were in your face an awful lot. So I can understand why the Lakers complained about being physical.
You have this toilet's timeout. Fred has a mouse in his pocket or something. He keeps saying we. We play tough defense. We.
Check the stats. Check the stats.
The defense starts from the inside out.
Check the
Jack,
stats.
Lonnie, Paul, JJ, they set the tone. And the only difference with the Lakers were like us. We could put points on the boards. The Lakers put points on the boards, but they just didn't play that defense that we played.
True, but the Lakers were giving Seattle fits. Game number 4, again in L.A. After 2 straight overtime contests, Seattle held on to win it in regulation, 117-115, taking a 3-1 lead. In that game, Jack vividly remembers his backup-turned-bodyguard, Dennis Autry, coming to the rescue against Jabbar.
Play started, and Kareem kind of hooked me hard, and she just cracked me right across the chin. I mean, cracked me across the chin hard, just trying to get his position. And the pass didn't come into him and went somewhere else. They missed a shot, and the game was over, and Kareem kind of turned to me and said, hey, that was unintentional, didn't mean it, and kind of walked in. And God, Dennis Autry was right on me. He said, what did he say to you? What did he say? He wanted to take him on because he'd seen what was going on. I said, I got cracked across the chin. He said it was unintentional. And Dennis didn't believe it, but anyway.
Game 5, back to Seattle, but to the Coliseum for the first time since losing game number 7 to the Bullets in '78. Seattle won this time, 106-100, taking the series 4 games to 1. Autry had a career night frustrating Jabbar. Gus scored 30, continuing his dominance, while Fred, broken hand and all, scored 14 points in just 17 minutes.
Well, I think Gus realized that it was time for me to take a shot.
You got him up quick, too, huh? What, 15 minutes, 10 shots?
I think I had to get it up quick. So that, well, you got to remember, you know, I did have a busted finger, you know, and it was a fracture right across, you know, my shooting hand, which was very painful. Some of these guys didn't pass the ball well. I mean, Jay was probably one of the finest passers I've ever seen in the league. You can talk about Cousy, you can talk about Larry Bird and any of the other great passers. Jay was probably the finest passer the league has ever seen. But, you know, when it came to Gus making passes or DJ or Jack hitting passes, I mean, I had to protect that hand if I wanted to get to the next series. So it was tough for me.
Okay.
But finally, it started to heal. It started to heal.
You gotta edit this. You gotta edit this out, man. This has gotta go.
Get out of air now.
This is ridiculous. Hey, listen, are we losing stuff to say here?
I think it's starting to go to Phoenix.
Wait a minute.
You know, it's just like shooting. He's got to get his minutes, too.
Wait a minute. That was the difference. That was a big difference in my mind between passing the ball to Gus and passing the ball to you. Gus shot and missed. He'd take the blame for it. You shot and missed. It's because it wasn't on your rhythm. It wasn't on your rhythm. Something was wrong. You didn't get to you at the right time. That's a big difference.
Players go first.
Oh, that's my team. That's my team.
Coming up, from the court to the course, this foursome tries to fast break one of Jack Nicklaus' newest creations.
I sure am happy with my new Grand Prix. Anti-lock brakes, dual airbags.
Really feel safe. Safe schmafe. Beats me why she only talks safety. I mean, this is a Pontiac.
What a terrific buy. It was over $1,000 less than the Taurus.
And don't let that value stuff fool you. She's a wild woman. This is a Grand Prix.
With this V6 engine, it's nice to know the power's there when I need it.
Power, yes! That's my mom! To Grandma's, and step on it!
There always has been and always will be a lot of advertising claims about low prices. At Smith's, we're determined to keep prices low on all items in all departments. That's what our customers care about. They want to save on whatever they buy, not on just a few advertised specials. With Smith's huge inventory of name brand electronics, appliances, and furniture, when we talk about the low price, we've got a lot to talk about.
Smith's Home Furnishings, the low price, and so much more. Maybe it's because their frames are welded instead of bolted.
Or because their decks are stamped from a single piece of steel. Or maybe it's the fact that they have the highest resale value in the industry.
Oh, hey, I always wanted one of these.
But the truth is, when people are asked what kind of lawn tractor they'd like as a gift,
Happy birthday, Dad.
most say the same thing.
See your Puget Sound John Deere dealers today for the best buys of the season.
What's a plantar verruca?
It's a wart.
And a calcaneal tuberosity?
Prominence on the heel bone.
How can an additional line from US West help your business?
I wouldn't know.
You can't be an expert on everything. An additional business line allows you to take more calls or hook up a computer or fax machine. After all, you know feet.
There are 26 bones in the human foot.
And we know phones. The small business group at US West.
Just up the road from Cabo San Lucas is the Hotel Palmilla. Nestled between gorgeous beaches and its rocky coast, the Palmilla is also the proud owner of Jack Nicklaus' newest golf course in Mexico. Never to pass up a free round of golf, I knew these four Sonics would take on the challenge, albeit on wheels.
200 might be too much.
The most intimidating hole by far is the signature hole, where you must hit over this arroyo. Evel Knievel couldn't clear this with the space shuttle.
I think we got to go up on top of Old Smoky.
No, forget about it.
I'm almost serious. Look.
I was teamed with Jack and JJ. In our worst go first format, yours truly was at the head of the line.
Give me some good.
I didn't even clear the tee. I knew how Evel would have felt.
That penthouse to the old outhouse.
Next came my teammates. No intimidation, they didn't even blink. First, JJ.
We're there, all right.
A little left, but we'll take it. Next, our anchor, Mr. Sigma.
Boy, that's a player there. Did he ever play basketball?
Did you notice that he used an iron?
Now it's your turn, you guys, to hit over this deep arroyo, ravine.
Taking a been there, done that attitude, our first opponent, Gus.
That's smart, man.
Nice shot, Gus.
Way to play. Way to play.
And finally, the spokesman.
Frederick! Whoa, Frederick!
Billy mouth, Fred. Okay, don't make it.
It's faded.
Right here, right here, right here, right here, right here.
After a box lunch and a beer, we finally found the other side of the arroyo. Following the scramble format and being the guinea pig for his team, Gus estimated 172 yards and a 5-iron to the green.
Where is it? It's on the front of the green.
You have to hit a perfect 5 to get there.
You get up on the green?
Jack, who is in the golf course management business, got us to the fringe.
Good shot, Jack. Look to the right.
Once on the green with a chance to win, Fred showed us why he made a living putting basketballs in the hole.
I didn't make it. Didn't even come close.
Slightly off the green, our appointed team captain got us nice and cozy with a pin.
That's why they brought Jack along. That's why they brought him
You
along.
gonna give us that?
No.
No?
Competitive juices raging, they gave us neither the putt nor the hole. It took every ounce of Seattle's competitive juices to beat Paul Westphal, Walter Davis, and the Phoenix Suns for the Western Conference title. Despite Seattle taking 3 out of 4 during the regular season, Phoenix was much improved and presented an entirely different challenge, especially for Jack, who would now be checking the highly mobile Alvin Adams.
LA series, you knew the ball was going to go into Kareem 40% of the time, 50% of the time their offense is going to start here, where Alvin was more the guy feeding. And really was Westphal and Walter coming off picks and so forth. And Alvin was like the point center in a sense that they call it now, just as JJ played point forward for us.
Game number 1 in Seattle was a laugher as the Sonics won by 15, 108-93. It was the only game played in the Coliseum against Phoenix. This was, however, where the guys preferred to call home.
People kind of pumping us up to really you know, take the advantage of the opposing team. The Coliseum, you could feel the floor shake. You could feel the seats when you're on the bench. You could feel the seats shaking. And that does something to the opposing team. That was just a great place to play.
Gus was prophetic. Game 2 back in the Kingdome, where the Sonics won 103-97 with good defense but horrible shooting. 35% for the game. Gus was 4 of 22. Jack went 1 for his first 12. This game marked the beginning of big trouble. With the Sonics leading the series 2-0, games 3 and 4 were in Phoenix, where a letdown by Seattle would have surprised no one. Seattle got help when the Suns lost Alvin Adams to a serious ankle injury in the first quarter. What surprised everyone was the way his replacement, little-known Joel Kramer, filled the void.
Now, what Joel had that night, I couldn't figure out, and Jack couldn't figure it out either. But he had Jack's number, and Jack played maybe one of the worst games of his entire career with the Sonics because of the guy named Joel Kramer. After that, people knew who Joel Kramer was. But Jack Sickman, I think, later on found out about Joel Kramer and was able to play better against him. But that was an awful night. That was a horrible night.
He was a short, smaller guy for a center, and I just know that I was really, really struggling at that point in time. And with Adams going out, being such a key player for him, there was a lot of spotlight on how Kramer was going to do. And he played very well, and I helped him play well at that point in time, too.
The Suns engineered a 16-2 run in the second half as Phoenix held Seattle to just 14 third-quarter points. The final 113-103. The guard combo of Westphal and Davis scored 25 and 22 points respectively as Seattle's momentum and confidence were eroding.
John McLeod, you know, he was a very clever coach. You know, at the end of the first quarter or 3 or 4 minutes left in the first quarter, we would usually have the lead or jump out on top of them. And so both teams make substitutions, and he would go to the trap and press. And they would score 6 or 8 quick points before Lenny could make a substitution or get a timeout, and therefore their crowd had gotten into the game, and Phoenix is a very difficult place to play.
The news in Game 4 was no better. Again in the desert, Seattle played tentatively. Westphal and Davis dominated. Jack continued to struggle, hitting 2 of 13. Phoenix owned the boards. The series was tied at 2 games apiece as Phoenix won Game 4, 100-91. The Sonics returned home to raised eyebrows. Some doubted that Seattle could regain control of the series.
We didn't lose confidence, but we didn't make the proper adjustments. Right. And we were just kind of like in a lull. And I think probably the fans and coaching staff began to question what we were doing. Right. But you can't change horses in the middle of the streams. Things have been very successful for us. And not trying to take advantage of a mismatch with if Alvin's out the game. You know, we got to do what we do best.
What hurt Seattle in its 2 losses continued in Game 5. Jack's shooting was no better, going 3 of 13. DJ scored 24 points, but Gus was in foul trouble, scoring only 10 and fouling out with over 6 minutes left. Leading by 4 with 5.5 minutes remaining, Seattle went stone cold. The Sonics relied too heavily on their outside game, losing 99-93. Expected to return to the finals, Seattle now stood face-to-face with elimination, trailing 3 games to 2.
I think, though, the point is, it was really probably in the whole playoff round the moment or the time when our confidence was maybe shaken the most, where we really said, hey, things aren't going the way it's supposed to be going, what's wrong, and kind of struggled with ourselves a little bit. And I know I was in my own personal battle at that point in time, just really playing terrible in a matchup I should, you know, I had experience on him, a young kid, backup center, boom, and it wasn't happening. And I remember this moment as probably one of the toughest ever in my career. And we were in a tough position.
When we return, the Sonics are faced with yet another trip to the Valley of the Sun, where they had won only 6 times in 34 previous games.
Hi, I'm Jim Palmer. Thinking about refinancing your home? Even if you've been late on some payments in the past, you can still refinance your first mortgage and get today's low rates at the Money Store. Because the Money Store looks at your total credit picture. They won't automatically disqualify you for some late payments. And you can apply by phone with no application fee. So even if you've been late on some payments, you can still refinance your first mortgage. Call the Money Store at 1-800-LOAN-YES. That's 1-800-LOAN-YES.
In these parts, dependability's the name of the game, folks. Dependability. You've got your reliability, your garden variety of trustability, but dependability is the ability that folks commonly associate with US West. And ooh, that's nice. Because when it comes to your communications, you need a company that's, well, dependable. Dependable as in keeping your facts straight, or just getting things right, no matter what it takes. US West is always there for you through thick and thin, with the products, services, and solutions you've come to depend on, come rain or come shine. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, my friend. And if you can't depend on your communications company, you've been barking up the wrong tree. Because at US West, you can always count on our ability of dependability. And ooh, that's nice. US West.
Oh, you'll breathe easy in the GMC Sierra. It has a 230 horsepower V8 under the hood. And that new car smell everywhere else. Check it out today. It's actually quite bumpy, except in the GMC Sierra. It has an independent front suspension, so driving any road is smooth sailing. See your dealer and discover it for yourself.
Mother's Day, 1979. Trailing Phoenix 3-2, Seattle had run out of tomorrows. In keeping with the holiday, Westfall's mother was honored at courtside.
They were passing out carnations to all the mothers that day was Mother's Day. Paul Westfall's mother sang the national anthem. I think a lot of those things got us spurred up.
And I think that was the motivator.
Yeah.
That was the motivator. We were a little down, but I'm not so certain if I can agree that we were losing confidence.
I can agree either.
I think that we had put ourselves in a position where we knew that we had to become street fighters. And all we needed to have was somebody throw a punch at us. And that punch happened to be on Mother's Day when they went out there and they sung the national anthem. And we stood there and we looked at each other and we said, no way. No way.
Prior to the game, veteran Paul Silas' leadership emerged. He gave one of the most moving pregame speeches of his career. He would not accept defeat.
Paul had been there, had been through the wars before, and he knew what it would take. And so he came out and demonstrated that.
We respected Paul. We looked up to Paul. Just because he's in the league 14, 15 years, you know, you have to respect someone. Just because he's older than you.
A couple rings.
This guy, he knew how to play the game.
He was heavy.
He wasn't the fanciest guy. He just got the job done. And you have to respect someone with winning experience. So he knew what he's talking about. And again, that fine combination of putting together a winning team, Paul emerges again.
Silas' speech worked. The blue-collar hustle was back in Seattle's game. They banged the boards for a 43-27 edge, 18-12 offensively. Perhaps what really saved Seattle was the return of Jack's shooting touch. After hitting just 25% in the last 4 games, he went 7 of 11, 21 points and 10 rebounds.
You're trying to force things to happen, and the first couple went down, and I probably was the most surprised person in the place that finally something went in.
Still, Seattle trailed by 6 with 7 minutes to go. Through perseverance and playoff savvy, the Sonics found a way to win. First, they held Phoenix to only 11 points in the last 7 minutes. There were key rebounds by Shelton, Sigma, and Silas. And finally, the game-winning shot by Gus.
1 second left in the ball game.
Phoenix trailing 106-105. 1 second remaining.
Here we go. Boozy and bounds. He finally gets it in a hurry. Puts up a 15-footer. The bucket. No good. The Sonics win the ball game.
The noose had been lifted from Seattle's neck. A reprieve. 106-105. Its heroes included DJ with 23 and Paul Silas, who led not only by word, but also with 10 points and 9 rebounds. With great relief, the Sonics went home tied at 3 with Game 7 in the Kingdome. Gus still talks about their homecoming.
It was crazy. We was going back home. We didn't even win the championship. And people was at the airport waiting for us. They had it was crazy. I said, wow, this is really nice. People was at the airport just greeting us, and we haven't even won it yet.
We made believers out of it again.
And that was a great feeling, yeah.
Yeah, but we did.
Yeah.
And everybody was ready to jump ship except the players and
management.
And we, well, there was probably some question there too.
No, management had to go down with this shit.
But it was the players. The monkeys were on our back, and we came through.
Incidentally, the Sonics ruined Mother's Day, at least for Paul Westfall's family.
I talked with Paul Westfall just a year ago, and he said, you know, after we lost that game, I have never let my mother sing the national anthem at any game ever again.
Both teams predicted a very physical Game 7. Phoenix coach John McLeod said his team had 11 players with 6 fouls apiece and that they might as well use all of them. It didn't work, at least not against Jack, who scored a career-high 33 points.
You know, the play I remember, though, was the play Gus made. There was a transition situation, and we had it going when we opened it up, and Westfall got the ball down. He was going to take about a 10-foot baseline jumper in transition, and Gus came from behind and stripped the ball away. Knocked it away. Well, knocked it away. Whatever it was. Knocked it away. We turned around, got 2 points going the other way. That's when we were just screaming and cruising.
It's third one of the year.
He made it.
Hey,
he made a defensive play. We were all so surprised. The whole crowd was surprised. Unbelievable. Gus made a defensive play.
Gus played defense. Yay!
Despite a brief tussle between Silas and Gar Hurd, it was the near disastrous final minute of the game that most remember. Seattle led 112-104 when it cleared the bench. Through a series of turnovers capped by this steal and lay-in by Paul Westfall, the Suns trailed by only 3 with seconds remaining, and Westfall going to the foul line.
With 40-some seconds, cleared the bench, and Paul Westfall, with about 7 seconds or 5 seconds left, we were down 3. He was shooting 2 free throws, made the first one. Everybody in the place knew he was trying to miss the second one. Everyone in the place knew he was trying to miss the second one, and he did. And I got the rebound and got fouled. But
that was it.
I remember Paul Silas on the bench, almost going berserk, man. He was like jumping.
He was mad at the decisions that we made those substitutions too early because the game wasn't over.
The main thing I remember about that ball game, in addition to it sending the Sonics on to Washington for the championship, was Lenny Wilkins' wife, Marilyn. After the game, she looked straight in Lenny's eye and said about those guys going into the last minute of the game, she said, "Don't you ever do that again." You don't think coaches' wives have something to say?
Light grew dim as we concluded our first visit. The sun had set. I suppose the same could be said of the Phoenix Suns 15 years ago this month. Seattle returns to the championship series right after this.
Jerry West for Mantle. Forget it. Besides, the Lakers are a bunch of losers. They won last night. They beat the Royals? You bet they did, Billy. And my, was it a spanking. And
boy, Carlos really gets into it.
It's all tied. Crowd's going crazy.
Duck and cover, the place is about to explode. Huge game, and it happened tonight in New York.
Oh, boy, Carlos still gets into it.
Honey, a little trouble for you.
All 4x4s claim they look good in the great outdoors. But only the Ford Explorer can measure up
in the great indoors. It gives you the most interior room in its class, with a split fold-down seat and a spare tire stored up under the body so it's out of your way.
When it comes to space and value, you can see why Explorer is America's #1 selling 4x4. See it today at your local Northwest Ford dealer.
Denny's Original Grand Slam Breakfast is now just $1.99.
$1.99? Are you out of your mind?
Crazy. You get 2 eggs, 2 fluffy hot cakes, 2 bacon, and 2 sausages for just $1.99.
$1.99? Are you out of your mind?
The Grand Slam. Now Monday through Friday, America's favorite breakfast is just $1.99.
They usually don't make mistakes here at Lenny's. Denny's.
No mistake. At participating Denny's, the Grand Slam is just $1.99.
$1.99? Are you out of your mind?
The original Grand Slam for $1.99. How long can this last?
It's a weather service built specifically for your corner of Western Washington, with a team of highly trained meteorologists, strategically located reporting stations and tower cams, and state-of-the-art Doppler radar. It lets you see approaching conditions the National Weather Service radar can't. Live, local, and accurate. It's the first weather network built for the unique conditions of the Northwest. It's King 5's First Alert Weather, tonight on King 5 News.
The pressure was finally off the Sonics. They had survived the Phoenix series and were returning to the finals. No home court advantage, but it didn't matter, since losing to Washington in the 7th game of 78. All the Sonics wanted was another shot at Wes Unseld and the Bullets.
To me, it was almost like Ali Frazier going back at it again after Ali's first loss to Frazier. We had a lot to prove to ourselves and to everybody watching that we were the better team. We just came up short the year prior. We may have been down. We knew that we had great combinations, that matchups that we were looking forward to. I mean, J.J. and Bobby Dandridge, you know, two outstanding ball players going at it. We had Wes and Jack, you know, going at it. And we had Elvin and Lonnie, as well as Gus and Greavy and Tommy Henderson and you know, the whole cast of characters. We had what we wanted, a rematch.
But the Sonics were sluggish in the first 3 quarters of Game 1, and they'd seen enough of backup guard Larry Wright, who scored 26. Down 18 early in the 4th quarter, however, Seattle put together one of its greatest comebacks. Powered by Gus's 32 and DJ's 23 points, Seattle brought it back to a tie. After a missed shot, Washington got the ball out of bounds with 2 seconds remaining, 97-97. Then controversy. This foul called on DJ against the Bullets, Larry Wright. 3 to make 2. No time remaining.
Earl Strom made a huge call late in the playoff game that went against us, and then they took the ball underneath and got it to Larry Wright. And DJ was, you know, has got such a quick jumper, almost gets to shots that you don't think he's got a chance to get, but he's so long and stuff, and got up and got a piece of the ball. But again, there was a foul called, and Larry Wright, I remember watching him hit 2 free throws with a timeout.
I did not think there was a foul committed on that play at all. I thought he had all ball. I thought it was a cleanly blocked shot. I did not feel that Larry Wright should have been going to the free throw line. I probably said it on the air if I had the broadcast to play over again, and I do have it. I'll go back and listen to that sometime. I think I was probably kind of nasty about the officials on that one. It wasn't a foul. No, he didn't commit a foul.
Seattle may have lost 99-97, but the Sonics had now found a way to win.
I felt we were the better team. I knew that we could beat them. I really believed it in my heart. It's a gut feeling that you get, and it was there.
After I saw them play that game, I thought, Lord, if Seattle plays this way the rest of the way, they're going to sweep this thing, and they did. They swept the next 4 ball games.
I also think that it was a lot easier to play that series than any other ones, because I think there was a amount of pressure that was off. We finally got back to the point where we had another shot at it. And I think all year we thought about, I remember we got off to a great start. We had a great training camp because all we could think about was that 7th game the year before. And you get that close, and all you want is another opportunity to get back there, and we finally did. And I felt it was a series where we can let it loose a little more, and we got there, and now let's do our job.
But after the first game, I think, Jack, when we were down and we made that comeback, I thought we had control of the rest of the series. We never, even though we were down, we were shooting bad. At no time did we panic. We said, well, we just have to do this, make adjustments here, and we will win. It should have been a sweep. It really should have been 4-0. Tell it like it is.
From there, that is exactly what Seattle did. Game 2 went to the Sonics 92-82. Speed and an unpredictable half-court trapping defense held Washington to a season-low 30 points in the second half. J.J. had a lot to do with confusing the Bullets.
Bobby Dandridge would take the ball out of bounds, and we would wait at half. I would wait at half court, and I would tell Gus or DJ, I'm going to trap the ball side. And we brought their big people outside. And Wes was a fair passer, and Elvin was a horrible passer. And so now they had to work with like 10 seconds on the clock instead of 18 seconds on the clock. And basically, they never figured it out back there.
The series and home court advantage returned to Seattle. Game 3 highlighted the matchup between Sigma and Wes Unseld. Jack with 21 points, 17 rebounds, Unseld with 23 and 14 rebounds, as the Sonics won again by 10, 105-95.
Wesley Unseld and Jack Sigma during the entire series had one of the most physical matchups I've ever seen. Jack, a little taller, maybe not with the great close to the floor strength of the oak tree legs that Wesley Unseld had, and so it was a real effort for Jack to try to move him around anywhere. But Jack did a manly job, I thought.
We were ready for it. It had experience from the year before and knew it was going to happen. Knew we were going to bump and grind with Wes, and that's exactly how the series unfolded.
But Seattle's biggest advantage, Gus and the NBA's Defensive Player of the Year, Dennis Johnson, were dominating Washington's Tom Henderson and Kevin Greavy.
Greavy was done. Greavy was a great shooter, but DJ blocked a couple of shots out of the air from 25 feet, and he told him, he said, I dare you to shoot on me anymore. He says, these hands are registered with the sheriff department. He did. And Greavy quit looking for a shot.
And Gus played some defense for a change. You know, he I know he really did. He really did. Gus played some defense because we were all on him, and he made some things happen, and you know, it created situations for them that they couldn't handle.
Game 4, the Coliseum. Seattle could smell the title, leading 2-1. The front line of Dandridge, Hayes, and Unseld combined for 50 points, including Unseld's putback to tie the game at the end of regulation. Gus and DJ teamed for an incredible 68 points.
It was a tough one because you could feel Washington in that game playing with the pride of a champion that was about to be dethroned. They were the Wildcats, backed into the corner. They scratched, they clawed, they came out at everything they could. The game went into overtime. And we go back to Jack Sigma's free-throwing ability because it was Jack's free throws in the overtime that ultimately clinched that ball game for the Sonics.
The game was iced when DJ got back into Kevin Greavy's face, partially blocking his shot at the buzzer, as Seattle won Game 4, 114-112 in overtime.
I nicked a little piece of it, and then Jack grabbed a rebound. And once Jack had it, I knew nobody going to take it from me, or else they was going to foul him, so I just started jumping and yelling.
Bullet coach Dick Motta was using every psychological ploy. He claimed the Sonics were playing his own defense and hoping to get into Dennis Johnson's psyche. He even reminded DJ that he'd gone 0 for 14 in Game 7 of their title series in '78. It didn't matter. Leading 3-1, Game 5 could finish it all. The Sonics were headed for D.C.
We want to go back to Landover, Maryland, wrap the thing up and bring it back to the Seattle fans. Let everybody know that we are the world champions.
We was feeling real good. It would have been nice to win it in front of the home crowd, but our confidence was at its highest, and we just went in and took it.
It wasn't quite that easy. Seattle trailed by 11 in the second quarter of the championship game. Nothing was going right. It looked like a 6th game in front of Seattle fans would be a reality.
But Seattle, and again, this is where their poise, their determination, and their defense started paying off. They didn't try to get it all back at one time. They just gradually caught up throughout the latter part of the third quarter and into the fourth quarter, and then they finally got the lead, and then they had to struggle to hold on to that lead right at the end. They finally won it 97-93.
97-93 on the Bullets call for a timeout. Down to a minute 90 to play. Is it a championship game for the Sonics? Here's Larry White. Fouls against Dandridge. And Dandridge is out of the ball game. On the inbound pass, fires in. Ballard, long one, top of the key. No good. Rebound, John Johnson. Pass to Gus Williams. 3, 2, 1. And the SuperSonics win their first ever NBA championship. The ball sails high in the air. Wes Haberger does the Haberger hop. The Sonics are ecstatic. The horns are horking around the Pacific Northwest.
A final look back at the championship right after this timeout.
The final score is the Seattle SuperSonics win their first ever NBA championship.
Hi, I'm Jim Palmer for the Money Store. Even if your credit is less than perfect, you can still refinance your first mortgage at today's low fixed rates. That's because the Money Store looks at your total credit picture and won't automatically disqualify you for late payments. At the Money Store, you can apply by phone and there's no application fee. So if you want to refinance at today's low rates, even if your credit isn't perfect, call 1-800-LOAN-YES. The Money Store, where America goes for money.
Something exciting is happening in education right here in Washington.
It's called Tech Prep, and it's part of our school. It's given our students a meaningful education and a way to succeed. Our Tech Prep students are more focused on their education. Now we have fewer dropouts and a way for more students to earn an advanced degree. Tech Prep works.
Tech Prep delivers excellence in education today. Call 1-800-997-PREP and get connected with Tech Prep.
In a dangerous time, in a lawless land, they defended justice with their courage, their friendship.
Call me Doc.
And their lives.
What do you want to do? Kill them all.
Kevin Costner, Dennis Quaid, Gene Hackman, Wyatt Earp, a Lawrence Kasdan film, rated PG-13, starts Friday, June 24th at a theater near you.
Nothing is closer to my heart than the Children's Miracle Network. Each year, CMN raises funds to benefit hospitals for children in your community. Corporate sponsors like the folks at RE/MAX help make it possible. RE/MAX associates who list Miracle Homes help CMN by pledging a portion of their income. So look for the Miracle Homes sign. The person who stands behind it is committed to helping hospitalized children. With organizations like RE/MAX and generous people like you, we're able to make miracles happen for special kids. Together, we can work wonders.
Celebrating the 15th anniversary of the Sonics 79 World Championship was brought to you by The Money Store, where you can refinance your home with just one phone call in about 20 minutes, even if your credit is less than perfect. And by your Northwest Ford dealer.
Oh, baby!
Y'all keep it up. Oh, you ain't even hold on.
I know it. Is that waterproof, Harlow?
No.
I have a temptation to just push you over backwards.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Can he swim?
Yeah, look at him. Look at the top out there.
Watch this one.
Oh, shit.
Get away. Get away.
Going? Oh, no! What happened?
Smile. Oh,
good.
Hey, we're on tape. We're on tape now. Behave. Here we go. Here we go. Up and down. This is the final one. Up or down? Up.
It's up.
Down.
Up.
It's up. Okay, it's up.
It's down. It's down.
I have a happy face, even though I didn't land the big one. Maybe next time.
I'm ready.
You got to back away as far as possible. Because you're in, if you're inside the fence here, you're in the field of play.
That's right.
Senor Gustavo enjoying quesadilla. Where'd that ball go?
You're kidding me. Thank you for the enormous amount of support. It was a hell of a ride, and I'm glad I was part of it. And until the current Sonics win something, whether they like it or not, we're still the ones.
It's what's important in your life.
The stories affecting your community.
It's Western Washington at work.
And working to stay ahead.
Life the way you know it.
The problems and joys.
Rescuers found the boy.
That make the moment.
King 5 News is covering the stories, the events, the people changing and shaping your world. It's coverage you can count on, and it's on King 5 News.
A long time ago, someone went around and made up words for everything. Then they came to Louisiana, a state that has a way with words. Here we dance to a music called Zydeco. And we don't eat sandwiches, we eat po' boys. We call our great outdoors Kasachi. And when we throw a party, we call it Mardi Gras. So have a good time in Louisiana and say things you've never seen before. For your free Louisiana tour guide, call this toll-free number today.
Not too many people are into truck fishing. Most people still use poles. That's fine with